equity in health is also a big thing, which is one of the 17 SDG goals of United Nations, which we have to achieve by 2030, right? So that is the main thing which was, spoken by Professor Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Mashelkar, is equitable equality we always spoke about, but equitable. So here, if you see, even United Nations speaks about equitable access to quality and affordable healthcare. How can we Indians, starting from our students, our scientists, our faculty members, how can we work towards achieving that in India? You know the concerns and challenges of our country. High volumes, socioeconomic strata. We are aware of, we have different verticals of from allopathic medicine to Ayurvedic to Unani to homeopathy. So there were so many facets of our healthcare system, plus diagnostics and interventional Medicare. So I remember speaking to Shidhay madam that, with pharma industry 4.0, if our students don't gear up for artificial intelligence, use of cloud computing, robotics in pharma industry, which is going to pan out in the next 5 to 10 years, our students in the team of manufacturing and operations and also quality control and assurance may falter when IT experts join the team, which they would eventually. Right? Automation is going much beyond, what we knew as automation, right? Which we knew as Industry 3.0 in pharma. So I feel artificial intelligence is very, very important to be, at least the basic insight students should have, so that they do not falter in their workplace and they do not feel as if they don't know it. So we equip them with that information. Likewise, data analytics in healthcare, big thing. We have seen how pharmacoeconomics and healthcare-related pragmatic decisions, objective decision making is absolutely based on data analytics. And today we are dealing with data which is huge in volumes. It is not possible to do it individually in a manual manner. So use of data analytics is a very important tool, which can not only apply to healthcare per se, clinical trials, but also in our research in the universities and the colleges. Clinical data management, another one area where there is bulk recruitment of our students. And if we can train them in CDM, the jargons, the concepts, the lag time or the buffer time required for students to get their industry training and get work ready in their respective jobs would reduce. And that will be a value add which institutes will offer, to the industries and the companies which are recruiting their students, where this course is offered as a value added course. And IPR, lesser said, we have been, remember TIFAC during the 90s, we came to understand the importance of patenting. And when we talk about Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, especially in diagnostic and devices and healthcare, COVID-19 was a eye-opener, and we understood the importance of being dependent on our own resources and also sustaining it, for this generation and the future generation. So I feel intellectual property rights and this protection is very important for us to innovate and to protect our products and ideas, so that we can make them in India and also probably scale up and commercialize in rest of the world. So that is what the advantage, and it can be a small idea. The other day, some examples which Dr. Mashelkar gave was by students who have just passed out in their 20s, coming out with some very non-invasive, wonderful methods of anemia testing, of at home entire blood, what we do it in the ICU, blood parameters, vitals at home at fraction of the cost. So this, the out-of-the-box thinking of the youngsters is something we can leverage on by equipping them with this knowledge. So I think it is a very good, endeavor by Dr. Supriya Shidhe, hosted by VES College of Pharmacy and their faculty. Thanks to the faculty of VES College and Madam and the entire team of Board of Studies in Pharmacy. all who have joined us today, the resource persons, faculty, I would request, madam, that you record the sessions and then project it as a YouTube link to all the teachers, and even required to the students, because what happens sometimes, students need induction to understand why they should opt for a value added course. So you can do that so that they can just watch the video and take a call whether they want to take it or not, and that will be a good sort of a induction. You need not take separate induction programs, and your resource persons are going to give an excellent splendid series of overview of what these courses are all about and their applications in the job life, in other aspects of the professional life. With this, I would like to thank ma'am for giving me an opportunity to speak in this orientation session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by you and Board of Studies Pharmacy, a team of dedicated staff who are well versed in their job. I now invite our principal ma'am and chairman, VES Pharmacy, University of Mumbai, Professor Supriya Shudhe, to explain the nuts and bolts of the program. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. At the outset, I would like to welcome Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, University of Mumbai, Dr. Anuradha Majumdar. Madam, thank you very much, madam, for gracing this occasion. I also welcome the speakers of the day, the industry experts, Dr. Sadhana Sathe, Professor ICT, Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, Director VES Business School, uh, Dr. Devend Babre, Director Analytics and Benchmarking, Digital Analytics and Performance, GSK, Dr. Vijayalakshmi, Vice Principal, VS Engineering, VS Institute of Technology, and Mr. Sunil Patil, co-founder, InnoRim. I would like to first mention a few words about our team. Madam, thank you very much for your compliments and your encouraging word for our Board of Studies. But I must accept that all this thing was made possible because of your guidance, your leadership, and your trust in our board. Because all decisions ultimately has to pass through number of levels, and because of your presence, everything got facilitated. Not only that, you have thought of many things and you have shared it with me, and then it was my probably sincerity that I trust you and I wanted always to keep your word. So I gave my best to fulfill the commitments and to live up to your expectations. We are very proud, madam, that a pharmacy fraternity represents Faculty of Science and Technology. It's a huge faculty, and all technocrats are there in this faculty, and you from pharmacy is heading it. That itself talks a lot about your competency, your abilities, your aptitude, and your opening remarks were very apt. You have set the right tone for this program, and you have very aptly mentioned about the significance of all these four programs. In fact, I'm not exaggerating when I am saying that madam is the these all programs are probably grandchildren of madam. Madam was constantly uh, uh, following up with me and our board for uh, for giving something in the domain of artificial intelligence, data analytics, and all those matters which are important in the today's scenario, which has lot of industry relevance. Now we have a challenge that we could not include it as a part of curriculum because all, as we all know, we have to follow the national level curriculum that is given by Pharmacy Council of India. Then we were thinking in what way we can introduce it so that our students get the advantage of it and they also become industry ready with all these latest technologies and trends that are being followed in healthcare. So we thought of conceiving the idea of value added courses, and these value added courses should have some kind of status, some kind of statutory approvals. So we approached director board of examination and evaluation, Dr. Vinod Patil sir, and he said that the pharmacy colleges affiliated to University of Mumbai can take up these courses, and you can just circulate to the university the list of students who have completed these courses successfully, And we also got the certificate pro forma approved by the dean and by the director. So the certificate will be signed by the host institute who has delivered this program, as well as by the University of Mumbai. And that is how the credential for this course would be very high. The state university is affiliating, or rather approving this course. It itself takes the course to the next level. And this was possible because of Dean Madam's presence and Director Vinod Patil sir's cooperation. So we are here now. I'm going to give you a brief about these four courses and what is that which is expected from the affiliated colleges. But before I give you that short briefing, I must acknowledge the speakers who are there today, the industry experts, starting with Dr. Vijayalakshmi Madam, who's Vice Principal of VES Institute of Technology. So this course was designed under her guidance. Also, our team, especially Mrs. Pradnya and Dr. Neha, they have referred to NPTEL portal. They have also referred to RUSA syllabi, and accordingly, they have modified the syllabus for AI in healthcare. And Vijayalakshmi Madam, with her team of Institute of Technology members, have done an immense contribution into it. Not only that, their team, under Madam's guidance, has delivered this course last year for our college. And this was taken so well by our students. It was really well received. And though we are pharmacy people, we understood every bit and piece of that course. And we also, Madam has made sure to make it explainable to people of pharma background. And that is how our students found it very interesting. And so we dared to take it to the next level of university because we have experimented it and it has given us a success. Thank you, Vijayalakshmi Madam, for your contribution. Thanks a lot for that. Uh, Talking about data analytics, we in our VES family, we have an expert in this field, data analytics, and he is Mr. Sachin, Dr. Sachin Deshmukh, who is director of VES Business School. So Dr. Deshmukh has already earned name and reputation for his expertise in data analytics and big data overview and studying it in the statistical point of view. So we were wondering whether our pharma people, pharma students would be able to take it up. But he gave us a confidence that if they have a basic statistical knowledge and they have basic maths knowledge, they will be able to learn and they will be able to apply it also. So this course was done by he and his team in a very experiential manner by giving workshops and case studies, and that is how our students enjoyed that course. Not only that, our faculty members also enjoyed this course. So both these success stories are with us, and only when we have experimented it, we have a confidence that we can propose it to the university level. And we never wanted to keep it confined to only the boundaries of VES College of Pharmacy. We wanted to open the doors to this course to for the entire University of Mumbai, so that every college, with the help of resource persons, can deliver this course for their students. And once that is done, students get a good edge over a conventional pharmacy graduation program in terms of these additional facets. And that is what is the dream, and that is what is the objective of Dean Madam, to propose such type of courses to be introduced. So we are very happy and very glad that University of Mumbai, through her facilitation role, has approved these courses. And very soon these courses will be available on the website of University of Mumbai. But Madam has given us a nod to now go ahead with the orientation program. After this orientation program is over, we are going to share the syllabus for all these courses. We will also share with all of you the certificate pro forma that is created for it. And then, Madam, we are requesting on behalf of pharmacy colleges, we are requesting you to put a word to Director Board of Examination and Evaluation Office that whosoever completes this course, they should be getting the certificate signed by the university as early as possible, so that the purpose of doing it under University of Mumbai will be well served and the students will have good credential in their CV while moving to the corporate life. This is my request to you, ma'am, to facilitate it at the university official level also, so that there is absolutely no hurdle whatsoever till students get the certificate signed. Uh, and then give me just 2 minutes, 1 minute time. I will share the screen with you all, and I will just take you through the uh, a very short PowerPoint which talks about the course. So here we go. We have proposed 4 courses: clinical data management, artificial intelligence, data analytics in healthcare, and intellectual property rights. So for each course, the syllabus that is designed is of 30 hours duration. Why 30 hours? Because if you see the guidelines of NAC or NBA, at least minimum 30 hours duration is required for any course to be called as a certificate course, add-on course. The intake capacity, so the students from all classes can enroll, and we recommend maximum 45 batch size for this course for effective delivery and effective experiential learning experience through this course. And who are going to deliver this course? So obviously, pharma graduates or postgraduates or a faculty of pharma people will not be able to deliver this course to entirety. So they will need subject experts from higher education institutes, especially from the background of engineering or background of business analytics. And also, we need to have the domain experts in the area of clinical research and intellectual property right for delivering these courses and making them practically very much relevant. So we have already defined the titles of the courses, and we have also defined the eligibility for artificial intelligence and data analytics. Any student pursuing undergraduation, post-graduation, or PhD program in pharmacy can take admission for this course. So here, even if he is from first year BPharm, he would be able to cope up because the course is simplified and it is starting with the basics. So any level of pharmacy graduate should be able to do it. For intellectual property and clinical data management, though we can allow entry at any level, we prefer a student completing second year of his BPharm as a right eligible students to take up these courses of IPR and clinical data management, because we expect some pharmacy knowledge to be gained by students before directly going ahead with the application of pharmacy in clinical data management, or the innovative thinking, creativity that is happening for intellectual property rights. Now we are going to have 2 modes of evaluation: the internal assessment, which is a continuous mode of assessment. This is very important because students, when something is outside the curriculum, students tend to take it lightly and they just attend it for the sake of certificate. Then the purpose of this program will get lost. It is very important that they study the basics and they are able to apply it through problem solving or case studies. So we are proposing 4 quizzes intermittently placed during the course, and this quiz for facilitation by the faculty for assessment, we are proposing the MCQs, but which are very much application oriented, and each MCQ, each test is of 20 minutes duration, and 10 questions will be set, each of 1 mark. Then towards the course completion, there has to be an end semester exam, which will be of again in the form of a MCQ, but the duration will be for 60 minutes, and there will be 30 MCQs, each of 2 marks. So, in order to have a good transparency and ethical practices, we propose to have multiple such sets to be uh, framed by the institute while conducting these quizzes, so that there is a fair way to attend the quiz and there will not be any malpractices. Then grading of performance. So there has to be some passing criteria. So the grading scale we have used same as that described by Pharmacy Council of India. So it is a scale on at the from 50 to 100, and if you are getting less than 50 marks, then you are passing that particular course, and you will have to reappear for the exam till you get minimum 50 marks until you become eligible for the grant of certificate. So this is important. Passing criteria has to be laid down. And what is the process for the certification? So as I mentioned, this certification will be, the examination will be conducted by the institute, the host institute, who has offered the course, with 50% as a passing criteria. And after that, once students become eligible for the certification, these certificates will be granted by the institute. But before that, these certificates will be signed by the principal of the institute, and along with the list of students who have been awarded the certificate, all the bunch of certificates will be then officially, with the covering note, will be sent to the office of examination section of University of Mumbai, to the director examination and board of examination and evaluation, for his final signature on the certificate. Now, in this certificate, we will have a logo of both the host institute and University of Mumbai. And then once that reaches through the principal to the board of examination and evaluation, the director will be signing these certificates, and then this will be returned to the host institute. So these authorizations are important. Once it gets authorized by the university, the institute will be ready for awarding it to the student. So that can be done by nice, through some nice felicitation program, so that students are encouraged to take interest in these courses, and they should also understand,
A difficult course.
and they will also be really fascinated by the status that they have got a certificate in particular area. And in fact, we should encourage students to undergo all these four courses which are affiliated to, or rather approved by University of Mumbai. And we are giving autonomy to all institutions to deliver it in the most creative way, by appointing experts from the industry and academia on the board. So that's it from my side, and over to our host for taking this program ahead. Thank you all.
For the data analytics course for healthcare, I now welcome very dynamic Dr. Sachin Deshmukh. Sir is a professor of marketing analytics, statistics, data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. He's trained for Python and SaaS platforms. Dr. Deshmukh was conferred with the award of Best Faculty in Business Analytics category by Bombay Management Association. He has provided assistance in statistical analysis in many industrial projects, and has also guided medical students in statistics during their dissertation and thesis writing. Currently, he and his team are working on drones project. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that sweet description of mines. Um, Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And being a management teacher, I would like to first of all tell the audience like why I should be in analytics. Okay, so I would like to share my slides. Okay, now just let us imagine we are in the year 2035. You become sick, for some reason, and you walk into a hospital. Okay, so when you are in the hospital, you don't see a single human being. Okay, you are attended by a robot. Okay, all the blood tests, or whatever testing, medical tests are to be conducted are conducted by robots. And finally, after some time, you happen to get your, reports, medical reports. Okay, now this is a reality that is going to happen somewhere after 15 or 20 years. Okay, now you can imagine why we need to get into data analytics, whether you are in healthcare or any other industry. This area is becoming more and more important day by day. So be it healthcare, be it FMCG, be it aviation, be it the medicine, everywhere you will find some of the other application of data analytics. Now, being a management teacher, I would always like to keep one eye on the industry and try to find an answer like why I should get into data analytics, that too in the world of pharmacy. So if you look into the global performance of the healthcare industry, now this industry is growing, from $1,454 billion in 2021 to $1,587 billion in 2022. Now this market is expected to reach $2,135 billion in 2026 with a compounded annual growth rate of 7.7%. And definitely, I have high regards, to the Indian healthcare industry. The way they have handled, the COVID situation over the last 3 years. I mean, that was mind blowing, and salute to all, who are into the healthcare industry. Now, this India's healthcare industry has been growing at a CAGR of 22% since 2016, and is expected to reach $372 billion in this very year, 2022. Now you can imagine, why, it is important to be in this particular industry and why one should learn data analytics. Okay, now I think the speakers were also talking about something called as an industry 4. Okay, now this industry 4 is becoming the mantra of each and every industry. Now, this industry 4 is especially related to the manufacturing side, but definitely it would be requiring a lot of inputs in the form of data. Okay. Now, you will find over the last few years, large amount of data was not only generated by the industry, but you will find that the data was generated even by the pharmaceutical or healthcare industry. Okay, and this amounted to huge volumes. Now, with the cost of hardware and software going down, now it is possible to analyze data at a very cheaper cost. And now new platforms are also available, like you have Python, you have R, you have Tableau, you have SAS. SAS healthcare analytics is considered to be one of the powerful software in the world. So if any college can get in touch with this particular organization, nothing like it. And nowadays it is the pharmaceutical industry that reaps benefits from this technology. Okay, now what if we have large volumes of data? There was a time when people never understood what should be done with this large quantum of data. But with the invention of various technologies, it is now possible to make sense of the data. Now the capability now exists to process and make sense of the data through analytics is very much possible, and this represents a great opportunity for the scientists, especially from the pharmaceutical industry, to take advantage of this data analytics. Now, whether this accelerating data through analytics for drug discovery or better understanding patient trends and behavior, you will find analytics holds a great promise for those companies, who are looking to tap the potential of this tool or the technology. Now, if you want to generate some business value and drive innovation in the world of healthcare, we have about 6 heads under which you can try and understand the importance of analytics. The first one is accelerating drug discovery and the development. Now, in most cases, the drug discovery process can cost somewhere to about $4 billion and take 10 to 15 years, to find a new drug. There was a case, I don't want to name the company, but there was a case, wherein the scientists of that company, researchers of that company, came out with a new drug, and it was high time for them, to take the approval of the FDA of that particular country. About 21 patients were selected, and this drug was injected in these 21 patients. Out of this 21 patients, 20 patients, were cured, and one patient developed some reaction at the place where the drug was injected. The FDA people had told the researchers to go back to their labs, redo everything, and come back. Imagine spending more than $4 billion on the research, spending a time of 15 years. They were told to go back and redo the entire exercise. Now, with the use of the latest technology, you will find that the time for the new drug discovery is reduced from about 15 years to about 2.5 to 3 years. Now, that is the advantage of using analytics in the world of healthcare. Now, also, before a drug is available, it must be tested in clinical trials to determine its effectiveness, safety, and the correct dosage. Again, analytics becomes very handy, in such exercises. The second one is optimize and improve the efficacy of clinical trials. You will find that clinical trials are pretty costly and time consuming to run, and the pharmaceutical companies want to ensure that they have the right mix of patients for a given trial. Analytics can assist identifying the appropriate patients to participate in a trial through analysis of demographic and historical data. Remote patient monitoring is very much possible, reviewing previous clinical trial events, and even helping to identify potential side effects before they become a reality. And again, this is possible because of the technology. The third advantage of using analytics is target specific patient populations more effectively. Now, with information from genomic sequencing, medical sensor data, and electronic medical records more readily available than ever before, the healthcare companies are able to dig into the root causes of specific pathologies and realizing that one size truly does not fit all. Within any disease or condition, different patients will respond differently to different treatments for a host of reasons. So combing through the data from these different sources can allow drug companies to spot trends and patterns that will allow them to come up with more targeted medications for patients that share common feature. I mean, I have a lot of things to tell you, but one example I can cite is, Pfizer is making use of analytics, and they have developed a drug called Xalkori, specifically for lung cancer patients with the ALK gene mutation, which was approved by Food and Drug Administration in 2011, all because of the usage of the analytics. The fourth advantage is better insight into patient behavior to improve drug delivery and effectiveness and healthcare outcomes. Now you'll find greater amounts of data that companies can tap, including information from remote sensor devices. Professor Vijayalakshmi was talking about the Internet of Things and its devices. It is nowadays very much possible for a company to gather data from remote areas as well. Again, you will find a number of interesting case studies wherein IoT was used to collect data and how patients, were saved. Uh, Now, the fifth instance which one must try and understand is improve safety and risk management. Now, signals coming from a range of sources, including social media, Google searches, can act as an early warning signals for the healthcare companies about the product safety issues, and pharmaceutical companies have been thinking about how this type of unstructured data can be used more effectively, which means that I feel your syllabus should include, the use of technology for handling something called as the unstructured data. And the fifth one is improving safety and risk management. Now, that is the sixth one now, gain improved insight into marketing and sales performance. With increasing competition from generics, pharmaceutical companies are getting smarter about analyzing and driving effectiveness in its sales and marketing operations. So if one is able to understand, the six advantages you may get by using analytics in the healthcare, nothing like it. And I think we should make this course a little bit more vigorous, as far as pharmacy is concerned. So this was the syllabus which was um shared with me. We start with Excel, and then we have analytics problem solving. I can find a bit of statistics over here, but the statistics is not good enough. I would suggest the Board of Studies, to make statistics or biostatistics more rigorous, because without this, a student may not be able to understand, the use of the machine learning algorithms. Okay, because I think Professor Vijay Lakshmi has included 3 algorithms of machine learning. I would be suggesting more for the inclusion. Then we have something like Tableau, where students will try to understand the data visualization. And this is a concept wherein, you get some description and some answers to basic or preliminary questions you are trying to find answers to. Then we have something like data types, field types, and data interpreters, functions and data visualization, and creation of the Tableau dashboards. So I think as far as the data visualization is concerned, Tableau is good enough, and the topics that are included in the syllabus are quite good enough for the beginners. Then we come down to Python. We come down to Python. We have introduction of Python and the application of Python in data science. Initially, only Python libraries have mentioned, and I feel that, not only students should gain knowledge on a library like Pandas, but I think we should give them some briefing about libraries like NumPy, scikit-learn. Now, scikit-learn is a library which is of great importance when you come down to the application of machine learning algorithms. Then you have to brief them about SciPy, stat models. I mean, this list goes on and on. But I think for beginners, we should at least brief them about the usage of such libraries in data analysis. We have data visualization once again using a library called matplotlib in Python. And finally, we have a touch of structured query language. I think as far as the beginners are concerned, this syllabus is good enough. But I would like to give more suggestions to the Board of Studies to make this a little bit more rigorous. You should get on to something like level 2 of the course, where you should include more machine learning algorithms, like you have supervised machine learning algorithms and unsupervised machine learning algorithms. Now, this is just a suggestion, and I have calculated the number of hours for this, because in artificial intelligence only 3 algorithms will be taught. But I feel that you have to make students industry ready, and if at all you want to make students industry ready, we have to up the skills of our students. Then comes the jobs that are available uh, for the pharmacy or the healthcare students. For freshers, the entry can be, as an associate data analyst, or it can be a data analyst with EDI, that is electronic data interchange. We have clinical data management trainees, clinical data entry operators, clinical data analysts, and I have gone through, the various packages of the companies. So for freshers, the package can stand somewhere between 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs per annum. When it comes to, you know, people with experience from 1 to 6 years. So here you will find there is a good jump in the package. And here the positions available are data analyst for clinical data management, data scientist, clinical data manager. And finally, at senior level manager, senior level, I've just mentioned one position, but there are many. So one interesting project position would be project manager for clinical data, and I have found that the package offered by companies is somewhere in the band of 15 to 30 lakhs per annum. Now this is quite interesting, and I was also told to make a list of some companies that are offering positions in data analytics. So here are some companies which are rigorously recruiting people, for data analytics, and most of these companies are also looking for freshers, right? And this is just a sample. In almost every pharmaceutical company or healthcare company having a research lab would require a data analyst. That is the scope for the students who would be interested in taking up analytics in the pharma healthcare world. And finally, I would give you a suggestion, to include something like cloud computing, Internet of Things. SQL is already there, but I think we should also include NoSQL. Okay, we have some interesting platforms to work with, like Dr. Vijayalakshmi had mentioned that Python and R are the two best platforms, to work on data analytics. Python is the most preferred language because you can do a lot of things on the Python platform. For example, if the student is interested in going for image processing, Python is considered to be the best choice. And like I have mentioned, that SaaS is a platform which is adopted by many companies across the globe, especially the SaaS healthcare analytics platform is considered to be the best. So like I said previously, if you are able to get in touch with this company, okay, nothing like it, they will support you and they will ensure that the student gain some knowledge of data analytics. Thank you very much. That's all from my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the detailed explanation and